Welcome to the second day of the challenge. Today we will mainly focus on data binding. In one of the last videos I explained how to define fields for classes in TypeScript. You can see this right here. Here we got a class and we got a field here. Now we have attached a decorator here, which makes this class for Angular a component. But exactly like other classes, components can also have fields, so there is no difference. Now the main difference is that we can use the field message right here and show it inside of an HTML template because it's a component. So now that my component here is using the component decorator, we can go into HTML and show the value of the message field, which is hello world. So on the right side, we have bound the message field of the component class to be displayed on the template. It's interesting that if we change the value of the field at runtime, the framework will automatically update the template and the user sees the updated value immediately in turn. So this here is the data binding syntax. So those two curly braces, which you can use in HTML to grab the field from the component. We will see that in action just in a couple of minutes. Now, once you update the value hello world here in runtime, so you change it by code, you will immediately see the changes also in the front end in the HTML. For sure, components can also have methods like other classes. Now can you guess the most interesting part here with methods? Like you can see that here, update message. Exactly, we can bind them to events from templates. Here in our template, which is HTML, we have created a button. And inside of that button, we created an event handler with the name click. And to this event, we assigned a listener update message, which is exactly the method in our component class right here. So once the button in HTML gets clicked, update message will get called. So as you remember, in the default project in our Angular template, we have that increment counter page. Now let's see what happens behind the scenes. When the user clicks this button, the click event of the button is called, and the button's click event is bound to the increment counter method. The increment counter method is called every time the event is fired. The method is simply incrementing the current count field of the components class by 1, and current count field is bound to the template. So by changing its value from the component, the template is automatically updated. The user immediately sees the value incremented by clicking the button. The increment counter method could also request more data from the server if needed. And the increment counter method could also request more data from the server if needed. But there is no need to ask the server to do something which can be done on the client side. Calculations would be accomplished much quicker on the client side when possible. So let's sum this up. Angular data binding features enables the component class to communicate with the template. Now let's switch over to our project and take a look on that in a more practical way.